There's something special about vintage cars. They're not just machines, they're time capsules. They represent a different era of design, craftsmanship, and pure driving experience. These cars weren't loaded with computers and sensors. They were built to be driven, and they offered a connection between driver and machine that's hard to find today. For many, vintage cars evoke memories. Maybe it was your first car, your grandparents' car, or the car you dreamed of owning as a teenager. Whatever the memory, these cars have a way of transporting us back to a simpler time. But the allure goes beyond nostalgia. Vintage cars are often seen as works of art. Their flowing lines, chrome accents, and distinctive designs turn heads even today. Owning a vintage car is like owning a piece of history. It's a chance to preserve a legacy and share it with the world. Let's talk about the 1964 Ford Galaxy 500. This car was a head-turner when it was new, and it still turns heads today. The Galaxy 500 was all about style and comfort. It had a spacious interior, a smooth ride, and that classic boxy design that screams 1960s cool. Under the hood, you could get a variety of V8 engines, making this car a blast to drive. The 1964 Galaxy 500 was also the car driven by Andy Griffith in the final season of The Andy Griffith Show, solidifying its place in American pop culture. But like any car from that era, the Galaxy 500 needs some TLC to stay on the road. Rust is a common issue, especially around the wheel wells and undercarriage. The good news is that parts are readily available, and with a little bit of work, you can keep your Galaxy 500 looking its best. Now, if you want a vehicle that's a little bit different, check out the Ford Ranchero. This car-truck hybrid was way ahead of its time. It offered the utility of a pickup truck with the style and comfort of a car. The Ranchero was perfect for someone who needed to haul stuff but didn't want to be caught dead driving a boring old pickup. They were available with a range of engines, from economical 6-cylinders to powerful V8s. One of the most popular models was the 1973 Ford Ranchero, which featured updated styling and a more luxurious interior. This was the last year for the 6th-generation Ranchero, and it's a highly sought-after model today. Rancheros, like many classics, can suffer from rust issues. The beds, being prone to hauling loads, are particularly susceptible. Mechanical parts, however, are generally robust and replacements are readily available. Restoring a classic car is about more than just fixing what's broken. It's about bringing a piece of history back to life. It's about preserving the craftsmanship and design of a bygone era. But let's be real, it's also about the feeling you get when you turn the key and hear that engine roar back to life. It's about the pride of knowing that you took something old and made it new again. Restoration can be as simple or as involved as you want it to be. You can focus on getting the car mechanically sound and roadworthy, or you can go all out with a full frame-off restoration. No matter your approach, the key is to do your research. Find out what's involved, what parts you'll need, and what your budget can handle. Section 5, Under the Hood Engine and Transmission Overhauls. Let's talk engines. These old-school power plants were built to last, but, after decades of use, they need some love. A typical engine rebuild might involve reboring the cylinders. This ensures a tight seal for the pistons, improving compression and power. Crankshaft grinding smooths out any imperfections and ensures the crankshaft spins freely. New bearings and seals wear down over time and need to be replaced to prevent oil leaks and engine damage. And hey, don't forget the transmission. Whether it's a manual or an automatic, a rebuild ensures smooth shifting and reliable performance. This might involve replacing worn gears, synchros, and seals. Section 6. Beauty is more than skin-deep bodywork and paint. Now for the fun part, making it look pretty. Bodywork is where you really get to see the transformation happen. Start by stripping off the old paint to reveal any hidden rust or dents. Then it's time for some metal magic. Use body filler to smooth out any imperfections and get those body lines looking sharp. Once the bodywork is complete, it's time for primer, paint, and clear coat. Choosing the right paint color is important. You can go with the original factory color or choose a modern shade that complements the car's lines. Section 7. Anecdotes and adventures, stories from the road. Every classic car has a story to tell. Maybe it was someone's daily driver, a weekend cruiser, or even a race car. These cars have seen it all and have the battle scars to prove it. I've got a '64 Ford Galaxy 500 in my collection, and let me tell you, it's been on some adventures. One time I took it on a cross-country road trip and it didn't miss a beat. Sure, it's not the fastest car on the road, but it's got character. The Ranchero? Now that's a head-turner. People are always coming up to me asking about it, sharing their memories. It's a conversation starter, that's for sure. That's the beauty of these old cars. They bring people together and create a sense of community. Section 8. The price of passion, budgeting for your dream ride. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost. Restoring a classic car can be expensive, but it doesn't have to break the bank. The key is to set a budget and stick to it. Start by finding a solid car that's within your price range, then prioritize your repairs. Focus on the essentials first. Brakes, suspension, engine, and transmission. You can always tackle cosmetic upgrades later. And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Doing some of the work yourself can save you a ton of money. Section 9. The open road awaits. The joy of classic car restoration. There's nothing quite like the feeling of cruising down the road in a classic car that you restored yourself. The wind in your hair, the sun on your face, and the sound of that engine roaring, it's pure magic. Restoring a classic car is a labor of love. It takes time, patience, and a whole lot of dedication, but the rewards are immeasurable. So, what are you waiting for? Go out there and find your dream car. Get ready to roll up your sleeves, get greasy, and experience the joy of classic car restoration for yourself. The open road awaits.